All right, sparks don't usually fly during House Oversight Committee hearings, but Texas Congressman Louie Gohmert struck a nerve, obviously, when he referenced pending contempt charges against Attorney General Eric Holder. Watch.
You don't want to go there, okay?
I don't want to go there. We can't get the information to get to the bottom of that, so I don't need lectures from you about contempt.
And I don't need lectures from you either.
Wow, joining us right now to react the day after, Texas Congressman Louie Gohmert. Congressman, how did it get to this point? What were you requesting from the Attorney General that you referenced the fact that he seems ambivalent towards contempt charges?
Well, back in the very late 2008, under the Bush administration, it was the largest terrorist financing trial in American history, and there were findings of guilt for funding terrorism, and there were documents, thousands and thousands of documents, transcripts of taped conversations, and we can't get those documents. And the thing I keep trying to bring up with the Attorney General is, look, you guys provided this to the terrorists. They're convicted terrorists. You can give the documents to us. They've say, well, they're classified. You're giving them to terrorists. You can give them to members of Congress. But they involve CARE, ISNA, groups that are advising this administration, and I think will show just what the Dallas Federal Court and the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals have found, that those are front organizations from the Muslim Brotherhood. And I think that once we ever get those documents, they'll show that this administration should not be getting advice from front organizations for the Muslim Brotherhood.
And if it wasn't going to happen, you would think he'd hand over these documents. He wouldn't cite the fact that it's security. The other thing you brought up, too, is that the Fast and Furious documents you requested, basically the Attorney General is able to say, get away, leave me alone, and get away with it.
Well, so far, because the Senate is protecting them. Otherwise, we just start defunding the areas of the Justice Department that are not providing the documents that they should provide. We don't affect law enforcement, but this is what Congress is supposed to do in order to have proper oversight. But he was found in contempt by the entire House of Representatives. He would have been brought to responsibility for it, except that once Congress finds someone in contempt, then it goes to the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, who works for Eric Holder, and surprisingly, shock, he hasn't done anything
But if
yet.
the Senate goes Republican, it might be a different story.
It very well could be. Then we may start getting some responses from the Attorney General's office, DOJ, as we should.
Right. And Congressman, real quick, it's personal between you guys, obviously. It seems like you disdain each other.
Well, it's not personal with me. He seems like a likable guy, but he is the highest law enforcement officer in the country, and he is obviously choosing, making personal choices rather than objective choices on who he prosecutes and persecutes and who he doesn't. So personal. It's a matter of proper oversight, and he's not doing, I don't think he's doing his job. Otherwise, he would produce the documents that allow us to see that.
Congressman Gohmert, thanks so much. Day after, that is the aftermath.
Thank you.